Hey, good morning on Morning Line. We are with Josh Horn talking about Social Security. You might recognize his face. He's been here many times before answering some of your questions, even some tough ones. Let's get back to the line. We have Gwendolyn calling us. Gwendolyn, good morning. What's your question?
My question is that I'm 65 now, and I draw my husband's Social Security. I retired at 60 because I have fibromyalgia and I have lupus. But I was while I was getting everything to get this started, a lady came in and she told me that she was getting her Social Security and she was 68, and she said she had found out that now she could draw her husband's also. So I'm drawing my husband, but I've worked for 48 years. And can I draw mine?
That's a really good question, actually. And so what we see a lot of times with widows or widowers, where at age 60 they may have started off by taking their spouse's benefits or their survivor benefits, but their own benefits keep growing. And sometimes it's more advantageous, and it's not necessarily that you draw your own in addition, but that you actually switch. So, you know, it may be that you're drawing $1,000 from your spouse while yours keeps growing, and then at age 67 you may be able to draw $1,200 or $1,400 off of your own record, or you may even choose to let it grow, and we kind of mentioned this earlier in the show, to earn those delayed retirement credits. And usually somewhere between ages 67 and 70, the Social Security will actually send you a letter and say, hey, have you thought about switching over to your own record, because it may be more, and sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is, and you can go ahead and switch at that point. So if you're interested in that, I think, and I can't remember how old you said you were now, but you said 65, I believe. So, yeah. You know, it now or some point in the future, you may want to call and talk to somebody about what your benefits look like and how, and then you can make a decision on whether you want to draw at age 65, 66, or maybe even wait until age 70 and earn those delayed retirement credits. All
right, we have calls coming in right now. Mary, thank you for calling. Thanks for holding. What's your question?
Yes, when I met my husband, he was already on SSDI. He was on it since he was like 18 years old. Then after we was married, and then whenever it came up for review, we filled out the papers, and I guess whatever his mama had said was wrong with him was different than what we wrote down was wrong with him, and he didn't get approved, and that was back in 1999. And so I would, to get him to reapply now, would it like continue? Somebody said if he would reapply now, it would pick up from 1999.
I don't believe that it would start from 1999. If somebody draws benefits and then they're stopped because of a medical review, and you don't appeal that decision, it becomes a permanent decision. But that doesn't stop him from applying now and trying to get benefits, because over the course of time his condition may have gotten worse, or may have changed, or there may be additional conditions. But I don't believe we'd be able to go back to 1999 unless there's some outstanding reason I'm not thinking of. So, but I would definitely reapply if he feels he's disabled.
All right, so we have next line of callers, I believe, are all Lindas. Let's go to the first Linda. Linda, what is your question?
I think mine is more of a statement, maybe. For the caller that said that he was having trouble paying for his medicines because of the change in his Social Security disability or whatever it was. I know Channel 5 helps sponsor a pharmacist on Thursday nights that helps people with their medications and making sure that they get their medications at a reduction or whatever. But I think that he might need to call, and I don't know, can I say his name? Can I say the pharmacy's name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's Pruitt's Pharmacy on Dickerson Road, and if he could check with Dr. Pruitt would work with him on medications.
Well, Linda, thank you for saying that. We appreciate it. Yeah, but always just to make sure to consult with your doctor. All right, let's go back to a different Linda. Hey, Linda, what's your question?
Hello.
Hey.
My question is, if I'm 67, my husband is 68, and if he passes away, will I draw his full Social Security?
So you said you're 68, and if he passes away, and I'm assuming he's over his full retirement age, some of it depends on when he started his benefits, and of course you already said how old you are. There's a little bit of considerations in there, but you definitely can draw his Social Security benefits if you're married at the time when he passes away, or if you've been married for at least 10 years.
Yeah. All right. Another Linda.
Okay.
I love this. Hey, Linda, good morning. What's your question? Hey, Linda, good morning. All right. We'll put her on hold, so hopefully she'll come back to us. All right. Let's go ahead and next caller. What is your name? What's in your question?
This is Gary.
Hey, Gary. What's your question?
I filed and suspend. I took that option a couple of years ago. I will be turning 70 this May, and I understand that my benefits will start in June for the first check. And my question is, I want to have my taxes taken out and my Part B premium taken out of that check when it starts. Will I need to? Can I do that online, or will I need to come into an office? And when would I need to do that so that especially the Part B premium will come out beginning in the June?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good question, and I believe the Part B premium will automatically come out of your benefit once your benefits start. They only bill you quarterly when you're not drawing benefits, and so that should automatically start. Now you need to keep in mind that you've been paying ahead of time by a month, and so there may be a little bit of transition there, because when they bill you quarterly, they actually bill you for 1 month ahead of time, and then once it starts hitting your checks, you know, that it'll start coming out of that. So so you shouldn't really have to do anything there. I do like where you're going with doing it with the tax situation online, and so for those of you who may not be aware, you can go to socialsecurity.gov and create a My Social Security account, and you have access to all kinds of different options with your account. And I do believe that adjusting the tax withholding is one of the options that's on there. However, if you're not able to do it online, you can call and talk to us, or even send in what they call a W-4 form to where and you can basically choose what % you want to take out. We don't do that automatically because some folks don't need that taken out, and some folks want different amounts taken out depending on what you expect your tax obligations to be, and so you just have to specify what % you want.
All right, I want to make sure we get to the callers, all of them who are calling. Hey, Wilma, thanks for calling. What's your question?
When a spouse becomes disabled and has not got enough in to draw Social Security disability, and they have to draw SSI, if the other partner is making quite a bit of money, can they still draw SSI?
Yeah, that's a good question, and a lot of the time the answer is no, because we have to consider the income of the household and the family composition, and a lot of times if the spouse or is making a lot of money, then that's going to affect any kind of ability to draw SSI, since it's an income and needs-based program.
So the simple answer is? The
simple answer is probably not, but you know what? It never hurts to go ahead and apply and get a formal decision.
All right, thanks for that question. All right, let's go to Charlene. Hey, Charlene, what's your question? Hey, Charlene, good morning. You there? All right, we'll go to the next one. All right, let's go to Rady. Hey, Ray, what's your question?
Yes, did Medicare go up this year, or is it still the same?
I think yes, did Medicare go up? I think
did it go up, or is it still the same?
It's $134, and I know it's the same as last year. It went up from the year before, but both 2017 and 2018, the Medicare Part B premium was $134.
All right, thanks for that question. I do have to ask, a lot of people calling in, they say their age, they already know, but someone like my age, some people may be wondering, should we even care about Social Security? Is this even something that we should think about when, of course, down the road, will the money be there?
Yeah, and that's what they call solvency, or will Social Security be there? And basically, if nothing is done right now, and they're working on different things, trying to find a solution. But if nothing is done, it's not that it will go away, but it'll be reduced by about 1/3. So it'll go down to about 70% of what it is now. If you're drawing $1,000, you would actually only be getting $700, which isn't good, but it is something. For folks who are younger and are trying to figure out where does Social Security play out in my life, the biggest thing I can say is don't lean only on Social Security. A lot of folks say, I'll just lean on Social Security whenever I retire. But it was never designed to be the sole income for your retirement. They call it the three-legged stool. It was supposed to be one leg of a three-legged stool, which means, any kind of pensions, investments, things like that, any kind of savings that you may have, and then the third leg would be Social Security. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans only have that Social Security.
And they rely solely, like you said.
Exactly.
And I'm curious to know as well, I feel like it wouldn't be a show since Nick is not here if we didn't talk about fraud. Social Security fraud, the things that people need to watch out for.
Yeah, just be vigilant. Because there's a lot of fraudsters out there who are calling and trying to get you to divulge information. If we're calling you, we already have your information. Now, if you call us, we're going to ask for identifying information because we need to verify who we're talking to. But we've had we've had a variety of people posing as Social Security agents, calling to say, hey, you're under investigation and you need to give us your Social Security number. Don't do that. That's there are unfortunately a lot of folks out there that are fraudsters, and we do have an Office of Investigations that try to go after those situations and reduce that. But they're out there. Be very, very cognizant.
With someone in your agency, I mean, how difficult is it to go out there and investigate? Because I feel like it could be everywhere and across the country. And how do you go about making sure these people are caught? Yeah,
I mean, there's an agency, the Office of Investigator General, that goes out and looks and prosecutes and goes through the process as far as folks who are committing fraud and defrauding the government and individuals and things like that. And we also have a disability branch that's actually part of Social Security that looks for folks who are either on the rolls that are no longer disabled and they never really were, and they faked doctor's records or however they went about doing it. We've got folks that come in and say, oh, my back is bad and all this kind of stuff, and then they're out there doing construction work, and it's carrying heavy stuff, and they've obviously told lies on their application. So we have folks that are dedicated to preventing and addressing those kind of things.
And I'm curious to know, how often do you see people who become fraud victims?
Fraud victim, we get calls every day.
Wow.
And it's a combination of identity theft, which unfortunately we don't do a lot with. You really have to call the credit bureaus on that. We have folks who call and say, well, yeah, they sold me a Social Security card application for $25. Well, those are free. We do those for free. Yeah. So, that's...
Well, Josh, thanks so much for taking the time to talk about Social Security. Again, he will be here again next month if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your help. A great learning lesson for me, and I'm sure a lot of the callers out there. We'll have a wrap up after the break.